Hi everyone, welcome to HBOM Education. Today we are going to discuss the first chapter, reflection of light at a curved surface. So before starting the lesson, we need to understand about light. So what is light? So light, to define light, we have to understand the properties of light. The basic properties of light we have to understand. For this, here some points are mentioned here. So what is the first property of light? Light is form of energy. Means what? Light gives what? Energy. Means you need to remember light always equal to energy. Light is always in the form of energy. To understand this, we have to take, for example, if I take a candle, this is a candle which is burning candle we have taken. So burning candle gives what? Light. So with the help of a burning candle, we can easily we can burn a paper. We can burn a paper. What is this? This is candle. So candle gives what? Candle gives heat. Heat is in the form of energy. So we can say light always in the form of energy. So by taking this is the example. Now light travels in straight line. Light always travels in straight line. So according to Fermat principle, according to Fermat, according to Fermat, light travels in straight line. Remember, very important. So Fermat is a scientist who generally define light. Light always travels in straight line. So straight line means if I take this is a line, it's traveling in straight direction. This is the straight direction, means light always selects in straight path. And third property, light always selects shortest path. Remember here, very important point, this is light always selects shortest path. What do you mean by shortest path? Shortest path is nothing but this shortcut. Remember, shortest path means it covers least distance. Covers what? Least distance. Means light always generally travels in high speed. Light always travels in high speed. So it covers shortest path. And now one more property, light is helps us to identify the nature of object. What do you know about the nature of objects? Objects have some nature. Objects have some nature. So what are the natures are there? So remember here, for this, nature of object means shape, size. So shape, size is are the major nature of the objects. So we know very well different objects have different shapes and different sizes, we can say. For example, I am going to take two figures here. This is the first figure. What is this? It seems to be square. This is the object which is in the shape of square. Let us take one more object which is in the shape of rectangle. So what is this? This is the rectangle. So when we compare shape and size of both figures, which is bigger size? Rectangle is bigger size when we compare with the first object. So two objects are given here. Two objects. First object is smaller size and second object is bigger size. So when we compare, which object is bigger? Rectangle is bigger than square. So this is the nature of object. So what we have learned here? We have learned properties of light. So what are the main properties of light? Light is a form of energy. Light travels in straight line. According to which principle? Fermat principle. So which principle this is? How to remember, very important principle here. According to Fermat principle, light travels in straight line. And one more important point we have discussed. Light always selects shortest path. Means always light travels with a high speed, and it always choose shortest path, least path we can say. And one more property we have discussed. Light is helps us to identify the nature of objects. Means what are the nature of objects here? Shape, size. These are the major nature of objects. So to compare shape and size object, we required light. And one more important information is light is essential in day to daily life. With the help of light, we can see the object, we can identify the color also, we can identify color also, and we can identify the shape, we can identify the size. So, with the help of light is possible, we can identify what? We can identify color, we can identify the shape, we can identify size. So color, shape, size are the nature of the object. To compare the nature of object, we require what? Light. So what is the major source of light here for the earth? For the earth, which is the main source? Sun is a major, or we can say sun is a main source to the earth. We can get abundant light, we can get more light, we can get more light from the sun. So whatever the light is coming from the sun, all the light rays, according to format, all the light rays are traveling in which direction? In straight path. All the light rays, all the light rays which are coming from the sun are traveling in straight path according to Fermat principle. A very important principle you need to remember. According to Fermat principle, light always travels in straight line. So here we learned in this video the properties of light. Based on light, objects are classified into two types. Number one, luminous object, and second type, non-luminous objects. So here, non-luminous objects further classified into two types. One is transparent, and another one is opaque object. Transparent object and opaque object. So let us discuss what is luminous object. So luminous objects, those are the objects which can give light. Those objects can give light. Such objects are called luminous objects. Means luminous object means objects which can give light. Which can give light is called luminous object. Very important, remember this one. So what is luminous object? Luminous objects are nothing but those objects which can give light. Objects which can give light is called luminous objects. Objects can give what they can give. They give what? Light. So that objects are called what? Such objects are called what? Luminous objects. So luminous for luminous objects, examples. Note down the examples. So what are the examples here? Bulb. So does bulb gives light? Yes, bulb can give light. So bulb is a luminous object. And one more example, torchlight. So do you know torchlight? When you switch on the torchlight, does it give light or not? Yes, torchlight can give light. So torchlight is a luminous object. So one more example, candle. So when you lightning the candle, so burning candle. If I take a burning candle, that burning candle gives what? Gives what? Light. So the object which can give light, such objects are called luminous objects. Candle is giving what? Light. Candle is giving what? Light. So candle is a luminous object. So it is, I hope so, luminous object is clear. So now second type, non-luminous object we will discuss. So non-luminous objects are classified into two types here, transparent and opaque. So we will discuss about transparent and opaque. But before that, what is non-luminous objects? So remember, students, here non-luminous objects are the objects which can't give light, so those objects those objects can't give can't give light is called what? Non-luminous objects. So these objects are classified into what? Classified into how many types? One is transparent, another one is opaque. Transparent and opaque. So let us discuss about transparent. What is transparent here? Transparent is nothing but the objects the objects the objects which can allow the light is called what? Transparent. What is transparent object here? Transparent object is nothing but the object which can allow the light is called what? Transparent object. So example, let us see the example here. Let us discuss about the example for the transparent object. So first one, glass. So glass, the glass is a transparent. It can allow the light from one surface to another surface. If I take water, does light travels in a water? Yes, light can travel in water. So water can allow the light. So water becomes what? Transparent objects. Water can allow what? Light. So water become what? Transparent object. So let us see one more example. So air. Does air is a transparent object? Yes. So because air can allow light. So we know very well. So our surrounding is generally filled with what? Generally surrounded with what? Air. So all the light rays are traveling through what? Air. Means air is allowing what? Air can allow what? Light. So we can say air is a transparent object. Remember, student, those objects can allow. Means what? Welcome. So the objects which can welcome the light, such objects are called transparent objects. Welcome the light. The objects which can welcome the light, such objects are called transparent. Remember, allow means we can use welcome for our understanding. For better understanding, instead of allow, we can use what? Welcome. So those objects can welcome light. Transparent object can allow the light. Now let us discuss the second type. What is opaque objects? So which generally the opposite property of transparent is having what? Opaque. So let us discuss about opaque, the objects. So remember, note down this definition. The objects which can't allow the light is called what? Is called opaque objects. It's called opaque objects. Yeah. So what is opaque objects? The objects which can't can't allow the light is called what? Opaque object. Opaque object does not allow light. So what are the example for the opaque objects? See here. So what are the examples here? Let us write the example for the opaque object. So wood. Does wood allow the light? No. Wood can't allow the light. Now let us take one more example. Book. Let us take book. Does book allow the light? No. So book can't allow the light. So we can say book is nothing but what? Opaque object. And wood is nothing but what? Opaque object. Now one more take. We can consider one more example. What is one more example? Wall. If I take wall, does wall allow the light? No. So wall become what? Opaque objects. So remember, the objects which can allow the light, such objects are called transparent objects, and those objects which can restrict, which can't allow the light, such objects are called opaque objects. What are the example for the opaque object? Wood. Wood is nothing but what? Opaque object. And book is nothing but what? Book is what? Book is nothing but opaque object. And what is wall? Wall is nothing but what? Opaque object. Means wall can't allow the light, where water can allow the light. So water is nothing but what? Transparent object, and book is nothing but opaque object. And remember here, non-luminous object definition you have to remember, and you have to remember the luminous object definition. What is luminous object definition? The object which can give light, which can give light is called what? Luminous object. Here, what are the examples for the luminous objects? Bulb, because bulb gives what? Light. So that is what? Luminous object. Torchlight gives what? Torchlight gives what? Light. So that is what? Luminous object. Giving light. Such objects are called what? Luminous object. Candle. You know very well, candle gives what? Light. So that is what? Luminous object. So remember, non-luminous objects are generally mainly two types. Third type is also there, translucent. But we are not discussing here. It is not essential here. It is not important to discuss. But you have to understand. You need to remember this main two types: transparent and opaque. And very important, you have to remember the examples and remember the keywords. Allow. The objects which can allow the light, such objects are called transparent object. And remember, the objects which can't allow the light, such objects are called opaque object. And main, you have to remember the examples. Okay. So thank you very much. Please do like and share, and finally subscribe. Thank you very much.